From Okay, hi everyone. Good evening and warm welcome. My name is Hitesh Bhatia, and let me begin by saying I love doing this. I love coming over here, and I love meeting so many people that I know online, and I love sharing the love. So, a little about myself. We have a lot of new people today. My name is Hitesh Bhatia. I'm a past life regression therapist and a family constellator. I live in Bombay. I had my own journey. I had restaurants in Bombay that failed in 2014. I didn't know what to do. I was depressive, I was suicidal, and I was going through my own journey in my life. That's when, in my lowest of my lows, I got introduced to alternative healing. In 2017, 18, around that time, I also got introduced to this beautiful world of family constellations. And since then, my love for alternate healing has grown. My life is transformed over the years. I'm so much of a better person. I'm not depressive, suicidal. My relationships have grown. My health has grown. My family, my wealth, my abundance in absolutely all aspects. I consider success in four aspects: health, relationship, money, career. In all four aspects, my life has grown absolutely beautifully. In that journey of exploring myself, I was lucky to have encountered and discovered Joining Hands. Joining Hands is a beautiful platform that we created. We created this platform in 2020 to create more awareness about alternate healing, to let people know more and more about alternative healing. It's been a beautiful journey. And the way we are today is we are a community of 30,000 plus people spread across 22 different countries. At Joining Hands, we help people heal deep-rooted emotional and ancestral patterns using systemic and family constellations. I'll save question and answers for later on. A lot of people who are new have questions about what are family constellations and what is healing and why do we have problems. Periodically, we invite in friends and family from different parts of the world to share their knowledge, their learning with our community in India and across the world. Like that, we have in the house today a dear friend of mine. He happens to be my senior from my school where I learned past life regression. A friend, a brother, Claes Berend from Netherlands. Hi, Claes.
Hello, everybody.
So Claes is a consultant. He's been a constellator for over 25 years. And there's so much that he's done. I keep getting to know more and more things about Claes every time I meet him. He lives in Netherlands. He comes to India 3 times a year to teach family constellations. He started his career in the with Reiki and other modalities, chakra and tarot, and then also discovered business constellations and then moved on to learn family constellations. Claes, can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes.
Great. So, hi, Claes, welcome. I keep seeing a little lag, Claes, on the audio, on the video. I'm not sure.
There's a lag on the video that's you're not sure.
I
And
think it's better now. I think it's better now.
okay, I'm in India in a beautiful yellow house in Bandra, and there's one little thing. It's close to the rail to the road, and it's very noisy at the moment. So I hope I'm not, and you are not getting, we all are not getting too much disturbed from that.
Well, you're in India, and if you don't hear a couple of ambulances and if you don't hear a couple of, uh, cars honking, it doesn't feel like India, right?
Yeah. So I feel home now with all these ambulances, etc. Yeah.
Fabulous. So, Claes, tonight we're going to talk about, ancestral trauma.
Yes.
A lot of people today are yet understanding what is this life trauma. They're trying to process
Yeah.
this life trauma with heartbreaks, with so many other things. So, could you share some insights of yours on what is ancestral trauma?
Yes. Well, it's related. Your personal trauma, that means mostly the trauma that you cannot find the cause of, and all the anxieties, the depression, they call it free floating anxieties, and they free floating emotions, and all the things that you feel in your emotional body every time, and you don't know where it comes from, could be directly connected to ancestral trauma. So it's completely relevant for you that to also understand something about ancestral trauma. You were born not as a coincidence. You were born as the child that has been in the womb of her mother for 9 months and has shared with her um, her hormones, her DNA, her blood, and that was very highly influenced by her own anxieties, by her own past, even by the anxieties, the depressions, the fears, the life circumstances, the hunger of her mother. So, intergenerational trauma or ancestral trauma, same counts for your father. However, your mother's bloodline is more important than your father's bloodline when it goes with these emotional traumas that you might find out, even with your personal luck or happiness or etc. It's so much deeper inherited from the ancestors than we count with, that than we reckon. That I think ancestral trauma is really an important topic when you are concerned with your own personal mental health and when you want to improve yourself. And ancestral trauma is not something we can fix. It's something we can understand, we can honor, and we can unveil it. Most important is to unveil it and to bring it in your awareness, because you have so many voices in your mind, in your brains, in your body, that are not yours, but that are the voices of your parents and your grandparents and other ancestors inside of you. And to make these voices support you and not hinder you, or silence the voices, you can only do that by listening to them. And this time, listen to them one time, listen to them completely and with your full attention. And that's when all the love that wants to flow can be honored. So that's what ancestral trauma is about.
So I know you mentioned this earlier also right now, but could you share some examples of how when we say this ancestral burden is shaping our life? You mentioned
Yes.
anxiety, you mentioned other areas, but
Yeah.
can it affect for example, can it affect my relationship with my wife? Can it affect
Yes.
my business? Can it affect my career?
Yes. Yes. All this and much more.
Okay.
But even in epigenetics and neuroscience, they found out that ancestral trauma is highly influential on the choices that you make and on the communication, the form of communication. It's very hard to change your way of communicating. For instance, between Hitesh, between you and me, I'm much slower communicator and you're a bit fast communicator. And I reckon that's got to do with how your parents have communicated with each other, and how even your ancestors were thinking in their head, in their minds. So and many forms of relating, many forms of communication within families is so much influenced by the relationship and the way they not only taught you or have been raising you up with, but also how their inherent state was before you were born. My father was already 51 years old before I was born. So he had a whole life before that. And in bringing the seed in my mother, there was a connection. And I'm not just a child of the Son or of God. I'm a child of this ancestral DNA of my father and my mother. So, and what we found out in family constellations, that things that have to do, now I'm generalizing a little bit, but things that have to do with business, money, worldly structures
Mhm.
are very often influenced by the ancestral line of your father, and things that have to do on how you relate to yourself, like are you judging yourself or are you mild towards yourself? Can you forgive? Do you feel loved? Can you receive love from your other half, your better half? Can you really take the love in and the respect from your other half, or are you judgmental? That parts, do you feel confidence, or are you just doubting all the time? That part is coming mostly from the mother line. Not only your mother, but also your grandmother and your great grandmother. That means the mother of the mother and the mother of your grandmother, etc. And my mother, for instance, was bipolar,
Mhm.
and I have been depressed in the first 30 years before I found family constellations. I had severe depressions myself, and when you go to a psychiatrist, he just treats it with medicine. That's what he did with my mother. When you go to regular psychological help, they think you feel like you didn't do something well. You have to think different, make other decisions, sleep longer, have more rest. And in family constellations, I found out I just inherited it from my mother and the mother of my mother. Everything was too much for them, and they were not able to connect with their shadowy sides, their dark spots. And when I found out, somehow the whole depression uh, was lesser and lesser. And I opened up for myself, and the whole outside world. I can relate to these kind of anxieties and depressions because my outside world in my childhood was without any feelings, and it felt, now I see it as a black and white world, and that was the bipolarity of my mother. And at a certain moment in family constellations, my whole life became a dimension extra, the dimension of color, of depth, and it was the dimension of receiving also. So there are a lot of very close by examples on how you are influenced to the core by this ancestral trauma. I hope
That was, no, that was
yeah,
beautiful. I think it was very, very beautifully answered. And of course, everyone,
thank you.
I'm sure everyone watching, including me, have the next question. How do I get rid of this trauma? That's the most
Yeah,
important question, right? But before that, I have another question that I want to ask. Before you answer that, I've often heard you talk about there are many systems in this world, in our life. And the system that influences us the most is our family system.
yes.
And could you share maybe a few lines for everyone here on how is it that our family system influences us the most? Because we don't only inherit our eyes, the color of our skin, or the shape of our nose from our parents. We inherit so much more than that, right?
Yes. So you can see from the color of your eyes and of that of your siblings that they are different because you're not only the product of two parents, but you're the product of so many more ancestors. And you can't see your emotions, you can't see your communication patterns, and you can't see how you're energetically alive, how your energy is. But that's also influenced by all these different ancestors. And I'm also a regression therapist, so it's not only the parents that have influenced you, it's also your past lives, and it's also your you're coming from the universe. When you do astrology, you know that the moment you are born and how the stars stood or where you came from, you're influenced from many different areas. But the most direct line, especially when it comes to your inner patterns and your connection to your emotions and in your connection to your energy and what you bring forward and your purpose you bring forward in life, the number one and the first are your ancestors. And the first is your own childhood, because you were born in a family and you were raised between your siblings, mostly your elder siblings, the close by siblings, and you are raised in a family where they even showed you the patterns before you could learn them by words. How you get rid of the negative influences of your that you got from your parents, etc. The psychiatrist and the psychologist will give other answers than I will. You know, you can. Uh, Sometimes they try to fix it by sedating you by medicine. Sometimes they try to fix it by making your head stronger than your emotions and your feelings. That's hardening you, what they do in military. Some of these things might work, but my way, and I think family constellation in that light is spiritual therapy, is listen to them, embrace them, and address them. So you find out this was this sadness does not belong to me. It belonged to my mother, and it even belonged to my grandmother. And I go back to the root cause of it. And this anxiety, it's not only my anxiety, but it is an anxiety that belongs to my father, and not only my father, but also my grandfather and my uncle. And there the anxiety had a reason, because there was a war, or all his possessions were taken from him and from their families, or they lost a child, or they took a lot of violence, or they were tortured in a war or in an occupation by a colonist, by the British colonists, etc., etc. So you think I did something wrong because I'm not mentally healthy, or I'm not vital, or I don't know what to choose, or I'm not able to make decisions. It's not your fault. It's really something you have to get the courage not to look inside of you, but deeper through your own insight, inside of the history of your parents, your ancestors, and there you can find it back. And maybe it sounds a little bit abstract, but you cannot do that. That's my take on it, by doing it in general for everybody, because there's the root cause of it and where you have to look and where you will find. Usually you need some help from a family constellation practitioner, because for everybody that's different. Where the root of your depression is, the root of your indecisiveness is, or the root of your pattern of illnesses and your health is it's different for everybody. And yeah, there has been, for me, there has been a lot of healing on the side of my mother, but also on the side of my father, because there was a big history in the World War II, that was heavy in Europe, and it was very influential in Europe. And my father my father's family was from half German, half Dutch family, so so their chaotic and indecisiveness and that they were not clear, their confusion was something that I could heal big part of my confusion by honoring their confusion and that they had a good reason for that. Some examples and some explanation, Hitesh, everybody. I hope it's clear enough.
It is a lot of your students are here, Ross. I can see almost 15, 20 of your students here.
Yes, I see them. Well, not. I have a screen with only 8 people on it, so Hital is on my screen, and Poonam. Oh yeah, I see Satipriya, Vinaifa, of course. Yes.
There are lots of them. They've got the
Hello,
video.
students.
They've got the, and now everybody's video comes.
Isn't it nice that you are back? But also, I hear myself telling totally different stories every time I'm back.
Yeah.
Because that's also, I'm still learning. I'm still learning all the time, and most of it, that I learn from my clients and my students, and that's the beauty of this journey.
So, class, before we go deeper into questions, should we give everybody an experience of what we're talking about? You think that's a good idea?
Okay, we can try that. Yes.
How long do you think we'll need? 15, 20 minutes? Longer?
Yeah, 15 minutes will be okay.
Okay, so what I've asked, what Claes and I thought would be a good idea is to give everyone a little experience. We can't do a constellation because Claes doesn't, we don't do constellations online.
I do in-person constellations.
Claes does it work only in person. But Claes has agreed to give everyone a little experience into what is ancestral trauma and how we carry it. Is that right, Claes? Can we do that? Something around those lines? Or I leave it to you what you would like to do.
I will try, and I will have to ask before that to make yourself safe. That means shut off your phone or put it on non-disturbing, and tell the people around you that when you are closing your eyes and when you're in a state of meditating, that they are not storming into the room that you are. So make yourself safe so that you can sit here with your eyes closed for maybe 15 minutes, maybe 10, maybe 15. Yeah, put off your spectacles. Maybe could also be nice.
Switch on your video. That's a good idea.
Yeah, I would like to have you keep your video on so I can see you, and when I see you falling asleep, and we want to continue, Hitesh or me will call your name. I think when we do things online, it's much better to be safe first. So please come to peace, breathe, and close your eyes. Breathe a little bit deeper than what you're used to do. Relax. And smile. Just when you smile for no reason, it's the best smile you can have. There's no reason. Just smile, relax, and breathe. And imagine that you are in a quiet place in nature somewhere. You are in a quiet place in nature. And you look around. Maybe you see trees. Maybe you are in a beach. Maybe you see water. Maybe you see trees and plants. And smile. Give yourself, give this nature a smile. When you smile, you receive the energy from nature. You honor it, and then it enters you deeper and deeper. And then a person is coming closer to you. It's a woman. You see her walking, and at a certain moment, you find out it's your mother. Your mother is coming closer. You look at her, you look how she walks, how she moves, and when she's coming even closer, you make an eye contact with her. And you tell her, Mother, thank you for coming. And Mother, I have an important question to ask you. For everything that I have inherited by you, I would like to see and to know about your history. Can I stand behind you and together with you look at your life from your youth until now? It's an open question. She can say yes, she can say no, she can say certain parts, respect her, and be grateful for what she wants and shares and decides to share with you. And then you go and stand behind her, and there you stand in her history, and there you get images from her, from the life of your mother, starting at a very young age. You get images of important moments when you are allowed, important moments of her childhood. They were important for her. Just breathe, relax, and await the images, the scenes that are coming. Whatever is coming is welcome. Keep on breathing, smiling to the little child, the little girl that your mother once used to be before you've known her. And then you get images of her together with her parents and her siblings, her family. You get important moments that were important for your mother and her family. And then your mother got a little bit older, and you get another moment, images, maybe a movie from another moment in her life that was really important for her. And you move on. Maybe to when your mother was a little bit older. You get all the important moments of her life, of her youth, of the life in her family. Take your time, relax, keep your smile. And maybe you will get images of your mother when she was a teenager, a little bit older. And maybe you get some insights of the moment that she met your father and was ready to leave the household with her siblings and her parents, or at least changed her perspective that the most important system for her was building her own family, starting her relationship with your father. And get an image of how they decided to found their own family, to have children, your parents. And get images as if you are part of it. Just before your mother got pregnant of you. Get images of your mother's pregnancy. of you. And now you become part of your own birth. And maybe for the first time, you can see how you were received in this world by your parents. You receive it, you see it, and you take it without any judgments. Nothing is just negative or positive. There's only moments of higher significance, important for her, for you. And now for this moment, you go back to that place in nature where your mother and you are together. You look in her eyes and you thank her for giving that insights in her life, for sharing her biography, her life with you. Look in her eyes and thank her. Realize that she belongs to a family and you belong to her family. And you all belong and are part of this lineage. You are just two generations. And this is the moment to remember and to get insights of what has been important for you, for your life, in what your mother shared with you, what you have seen in her life. What's important? What are the life lessons for you from this? What did you copy? What were you against? What have you not realized before? Receive the life lessons now. And receive them with a smile. Keep on breathing and relax. There's no effort in this to be done. It's just receiving. It's okay. Everything is okay. There's nothing wrong in what happened. Receive the lessons for the importance for you personally. I will stay with you and I will keep on timing. It's okay. Breathe, smile, receive, relax. Thank your mother again. She can leave. And then slowly in your own time, in the next 1 or 2 minutes, you can go back to the presence in 2025. in the next 1 or 2 minutes, you realize that you are also in this chat meeting, this Zoom meeting. Take your time to integrate this experience, these insights, and come back into the room and include the outside world in your reality. Breathe, relax, smile. If you are sleeping, Rishi, it's okay. Rishi, it's okay. Thank you for being back. I know your mother has died recently. Can be very emotional. I know. I understand. I see you. All right. Okay, wait a minute. Shirin Sayed? Yes, you are there. Okay, thank you. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Would anybody like to share? I know Alexandra said that she had a beautiful experience. Is that Alexandra? Oh, that is Alexandra. Hi, darling. How are you?
You're back.
Alexandra is also Tasso class. Aha.
Okay.
Alexandra, you're on mute. Yes.
Yeah, now I'm okay. Hello.
Hello,
Thank you.
Alexandra. Are you
Hello.
from? Did you join Tasso in India, in Mumbai, or somewhere else?
No, in Holland.
In
Just
Amersfoort?
after Hitesh. Yes, a long time ago. But I had never done anything with you, and today I think was the day. It was really lovely, a lovely experience.
I have not been. Thank you, Alexandra. I've not been in the international group. I've not because it was too short. So I was in the third year of the Dutch people, and however Hitesh was, and you were 1 minute from my house when you were at Tasso in Amersfoort. Hitesh and me never met in the Netherlands. Also in that period of time.
It was great because I lived with my grandparents. I was not raised by my mother, and I knew a little bit of history, but I never connected the dots. And now I did it because she also didn't live with her parents.
Wow!
So
she was also raised by her grandparents.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And she lived, they were very poor, so they didn't have a house for all the kids, and so she lived with inside the neighbor's house. Now I connected the dots. That was really nice. Thank you.
That's nice. Yeah. You're welcome. This is also important for adopted children, for instance, because also adopted children inherit so much from their biological parents. And even when you're not adopted by your mother, the mother is still the first influence in your life, even though you're raised by grandparents. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Welcome. Thank you for sharing, Alexandra.
Thank you. Would anybody else like to share their experience? If you have questions, we're more than happy to take them. Questions about ancestors, questions about lineage, questions about how it impacts. No one's got any questions, and I can continue with my questions. Yeah, Fatima, you have a question?
Yes, hi all, thank you. So I have a question. The first one, can I repeat this exercise on my own if I want to feel more or get connected more to my mother? And the second question is that I couldn't see any of her memories. I didn't feel like that she was preventing me from seeing anything. I just could feel some events that I already know about her. My mother had passed away already, but I know some important um, stages in her life, and they could feel things, but that I already know. So maybe I'm just making this up, but I couldn't see any kind of a specific memory.
Okay. I did not get your first question, but I'll answer your second first, okay?
Okay.
Um, there are many reasons why for not being able to see the past of your and the biography of your mother. It could be that she has died just shortly and that she was not able to connect with you. But it could also be that this is just an exercise and your body and your system does not feel safe online, or maybe it
Okay.
just went a little bit too fast. But very often, this for many people, this only works when you're one-on-one with direct connection with the facilitator, with a coach or a therapist. When there is some unsafety with the situation, then it's hard. But it could also be the decision of your mother to not share it in this
Yeah.
moment or in these circumstances.
And about the first question, can I repeat this exercise on my own?
Of course you can. You can. This is not a very dangerous exercise. Only shut off the phone and the doorbell, etc., and tell the other people in the household to leave you alone for half an hour, or do it when nobody is home. That's the only thing you can do. But you can always go and try and breathe and meet your mother and ask her. And it's even a very nice thing to do at home when you do this with your father as well.
Okay, I can try both the exercises then. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
you're
Fatima, I have
welcome.
a question. Have you ever been in a constellation ever?
Yes,
Oh,
multiple ones.
okay, great. So you know what we're talking about. Perfect. Thank you so much, Fatima. And you're from, okay, thank you. I'm just launching a poll for everyone. So we like to know where you are from, what parts of the world, and just a little for us to know at joining hands. Does anybody else have any questions? Anybody would like to ask anything to Claes? Claes comes to India to teach family constellations. If you have questions on family constellations. So Claes, somebody messaged me a
So,
question. Sorry.
so the first thing I like to add is this was an experience with your mother, and I like to start with that because for many people, at least she's the most important influence on your emotional life. But don't forget, usually her children are the most important people in her life. So you can receive her love for that, even if she has not been able to show you that she was a mother too young, or she has not learned how to love. Then still, for every mother, you know that all mothers know that from their own experience. For your mother, you were, and your siblings were the most important people and the most loved people in her life. Um, that's where your life starts, in a kind of unconditional love, even if the next day she gives you away or to somebody else, then in the first moments of your life, you were loved by your mother. Remember that. And I do this little exercise here, but much more I love it to do family constellations in person, because then you can really specify where your life is stuck or where you want to develop further and where your attention is going. And then we can really see where you can get that connection to life and to your ancestors and to your own life and to your own flow again. And we can find it specifically for you. And there is where I think real healing is happening on a much deeper level, even than what we do here. And I'm here in India, and if you want to meet me and see me work in person, then I do individual constellations next week on the 16th or the 20th, 22nd, 21st, I don't know exactly, but you will get that information from Hitesh or Binaifa, and then you can just join and see me facilitate constellations, and there we can really meet in person. And the good thing about it, that for you, that's free. It's only there's only a price for the one that's getting a constellation, but for the reps, that's a free way in which we can meet. And if you're really interested and want to facilitate family constellations, then in August we start a new group, and I can teach you to facilitate. You'll have to come 3 weeks to Mumbai if you're not from Mumbai, 3 times a week. 6 days. But then there's an in-depth training in doing you're welcome. We do an in-depth training in facilitating family constellations. But you're welcome, even if you're not interested in following that education, you're welcome to meet on in the individual constellations that we do. Just easy with somebody at some place, at somebody's house. Yeah.
You can just get in touch with anybody from our team if you're in one of our groups, or you can message. I think Binaifa has already put it on the chat. You can message Binaifa. She's messaged her number. We don't have any more slots for clients with Claes, but you can join as a representative and understand that.
Yeah.
If you would like a one-on-one session with Claes, his slots get sold out 3 months in advance. So you can book a slot for July right now when you come back again, Claes. Sorry, not July.
Yes, and maybe somewhere in between there's one a day, or when you can go to the waiting list when somebody is dropping out. But I will be back also in January again. And
so we'll take questions, Claes. There are 2 questions.
Yes. And okay, one thing, if you are not, we have questions here. If you're not able, you don't want to ask questions here, you can always DM me on WhatsApp. Yes. Just ask me in person on WhatsApp. Yes. Yeah, let's take some questions.
Can everybody just respond to the poll so I can close the poll? That'd be really nice if you can respond to the poll on the screen. Ritika actually had asked the question first, so I'll go with Ritika, though she raised her hand later on, but I'll just go with Ritika. Jayashree, that's okay, right? We'll finish with back to you. Hey, Ritika, hi. Good evening.
Hi, good evening. Thank you so much. I just had a very small question. Every time you brought, asked my mother to come, and she came, and then I would just sleep off. What is that? Because it has happened with me during my constellation as well, when I got a constellation done, and my rep would also sleep off. So I'm like, okay, what's happening?
That's because you have a very wise energy system, and that wisdom of your energy system says, this is at this moment in this circumstances, this is too this takes too much from you. So maybe your system feels, or your soul or your energy feels, it's not safe to go into this, so sleep off, or it's not for you at this moment to do it consciously, but unconsciously you can join by sleeping. And maybe it just says, find another form to do this, maybe in yourself alone, or in a family constellation, or in another way. So usually when people go to sleep, it has been your system just chooses you not to join that consciously.
All right. Okay. So it might be happening unconsciously, or it may not be happening.
Yes. Usually usually your soul listens anyhow when you're sleeping, and then it knows next time how safe or unsafe it is, and then you don't have to fall asleep again. When you do exactly the same exercise again, could be that your soul has decided it's not needed to fall asleep anymore.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks for the question.
Thank you.
Ritika,
Sorry, Hitesh?
what
Yeah,
city are you from?
I'm from Bangalore.
We've been there, but we don't have anything happening there right now. Hopefully soon.
Yeah, I've met you in person and as well as Clash.
You were there.
So,
Oh, we
You
met?
were there for when class was in Bangalore. I remember now. Yes.
yeah, I was there.
Yeah, that beautiful place where we were with so many people in Bangalore. Yeah, I've been there only once.
Thank you, Ritika.
Yeah, you
Thank
should come
you.
again.
We will, hopefully real soon.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ritika. Hi,
you.
Jayashree.
Hey, hi, class. Hi, Hitesh. So
Hi.
I'm new to this. Actually, I just wanted to understand, like, while you make us go through the, important event of my mother, and during that, I realized one thing which, like, I knew it from many years, but I ignored it. Her younger sister, she has lost one of her eye because of like when my mother was getting married, and they were like, it was a in a rural of one of the like India, when they were doing some kind of stitching or something, and because like some two siblings, they were fighting or something, and because of that she lost her one eye actually during that event, and it was during my mother's marriage, like because that time the girls used to get married in a little early age, like for 17, 16 or something like that. So they were also in a teens of there. I don't know, somehow I felt, will it any which way impact us, like as a kid, because she might have whole her life thought that she has lost her eye because of like I don't know whose mistake it was, like during that event and all, but will it any which way impact our life? Now she's no more, but throughout the life I never thought about it. It was very casual for us that she was having a one eye only, like, and all this. In that time, we never thought so much deeply about it. But now, when I'm
Mhm.
thinking about it, I'm just thinking like, will it impact any which way to our life? Because she might have done lots of compromise due because she might have got married to the person who was not like so as suitable for her, like because she was not having one eye and all these things. So,
Yeah. Well, you will find out how it will impact you.
yes.
But I have a very recent story about eye. I I told Hitesh and and the last groups that the last 1.5 year or a year or so, I very often lost the sight from my right eye, and my father had uh, I remembered, or he told me, or I don't know where it was, but he got a stone in his eye when he was 6 years old, and he lost sight in that eye, and I thought, oh, that's probably my connection with my father, and I'm loyal to him when I also don't see with that eye. But a few weeks ago, um, I did a session, and it was about when in a connection with my mother, I was in a hospital for burning wounds over the right side of my body, and that came to me, and it felt like not to do with my eye, but after that my eye healed and my eyesight healed. So I was really amazed that after 1 year of that falling out of that sight, just by remembering or honoring that part of history that was connected with my mother. It was after my birth. I healed instantly. Well, not in the moment, but in the weeks after that. So we never know where, and it's not important who was the guilty one, and it's not even important to understand uh, what influence it will be exactly. But for me, it was a great healing very recently. And at the same time, I have, since that session, I have so much more energy. I didn't have a jet lag this time when I came to India. It was really nice how it helped me. So I hope it will help you. And I cannot point out what the exact reason is or how it will help you. But things in the past want to be seen. Emotional.
Right. Right. The concern is like she might have gone through lots of emotional up and down
Yeah.
because of incident. So will it in any which way impact to us? Like because we are like she was our like immediate like aunt and all this thing, and she might have seen us, and she was like, okay, my life could be the better if I was having the. And I don't know who was the guilty for that particular incident actually, but
Yeah. Doesn't matter who was the perpetrator or who was the guilty one. It's not needed to bring more guilt and to point people out to their guilt, but at the same time there must be a reason, and the people that have died and the soul knows the reasons much better than we can with our minds. So just take it, you receive it. Yeah.
Okay.
Can I add something, Claes, here? Something from my
Yes, sure.
experience? Justly, what I normally do is when I find some awareness, like today you found an awareness, and I don't know what to do with it, when I go to sleep, I put a small intent. So
Okay.
I put an intent before I lie down, like when I've switched off the lights, put away my phone, I've done everything I had to do for the day. I put a small intent saying that tomorrow morning when I get up, I would like the universe to give me clarity on how this is impacting me.
Okay.
So it's a pure intent, and if it's not important, then I would forget about it. But most of the times, the next morning, I have crystal clear clarity on what I need to do. Sometimes I've forgotten the question also, but I know that I need a constellation, or I need to talk to a friend, or I know something is there that needs to be looked at for me. This
Okay.
has worked fabulously for me because the intent is so pure to understand what needs to come, let it come to light. Because today, what Claes did, something has come to light for you.
Right. Right. So
So when
because I knew this incident from long time actually, but I never realized it's like awareness. The way word which you have used, it was like a correct word, which was like a awareness. And then I thought that oh my God, how much painful, and then what this lady might. So I've done a hoponopo also for her, like because it was like a whatever it is, like she might have gone through because of my mother or any reason or something. So I've done that also for her, like. And I will see like how this this awareness I got. I will try to put the intent tonight only before sleeping.
I'm sure
Yes.
that will help.
I think healing has already taken place. So you just have to receive.
I feel so too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, class. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much,
Thanks
Jayshree.
for
Thank you.
sharing that.
Okay, we'll just take one last question for Shiraz before we call it, because I'm sure most of you know we have another session at 9 o'clock. We have a deep healing sessions at 9.
Um,
Shiraz.
yeah, class. I've heard of ancestral generational trauma, but till today I'm unable to connect the dots or to understand it. How do I know that I am carrying generational or ancestral trauma or whatever it is called? And it's not my
Mhm.
own and my own traumatic experiences in the years that I've lived.
Yes. Mm. Are you happy with your life? Most people say yes and no.
Um, in bits and parts, yes, and bits and parts,
Okay.
no.
Yeah. So when you're not happy with your life, then first you find out, do I understand where it came from? And do I understand the experience that I have, how they influenced it? And then you try to to let it go. And when you cannot let it go, when you are not healed just by psychological understanding of it and doing a regular therapy session with a psychologist, when you're not healed and when you don't get clarity from that, then there can be a big chance that it's deeper. It's deeper in the other ancestors, or it's deeper rooted in past life experiences, one of the two. And which one it is have to be found out in a family constellation or a regression session. I've done both, so I can find out a little bit faster. But it's not put in the bulletin board of your forehead. It's not really so known. It's only clear that if you're not getting there with insightful therapy talking sessions only, then the root must be deeper. Usually, it's not your own behavior that led to the parts of life that you cannot get healed so easily.
But class, my trauma may be really very deep, and it may not be so easy to heal myself just by talking or maybe by doing 2 or 3 constellations. So does that mean that I am carrying generational trauma, and that this particular incident or experience could have also happened with my mother?
Yes. You know, sometimes for family constellations, when the pain is deep, then the sessions can be easy. Also with regression, when the trauma is laying in a deep level, then for the work it's getting more clear, and it can be even easier to work on that. And that's the opposite from a regular psychological therapy, where you need more sessions when the trauma has been heavier. But we benefit from the fact that you've done so much work already before, that when you've done that and you can carry your own process in a deep level, then you can have faster healing in family constellations or regression therapy. But from the outside, we don't know what the root cause is. And when we do a family constellation, it's so clear that it can be dealt with and seen and honored within half an hour or an hour or so.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much, Shiraz. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for responding on the poll. Thank you for coming in tonight. Thank you so much for everything that you do. So lovely.
I would like
you.
to thank everybody as well, even when you're in the car listening to this, Alexandra, yes. And it's so nice to see so many people back here in India. I love to be in India, and now my camera is falling. I love to be back in India, and I like to meet as many people as possible in person in this period when I'm here. So thank you for joining. All feedback and questions are welcome to me on WhatsApp. And Hitesh has to go to his next meeting.
No, we have time, class. There's no rush.
Okay.
We have
Good.
15, 20 minutes. But yeah, so we'll see everyone at 9 o'clock. In case you would like to get in touch with Claes, drop us a message. We'll share Claes's number. In case you would like to attend one of the constellations he does in Mumbai, Binayfer has shared her number, and you can feel free to join. She'll share the dates with you. In case you would like to learn from Claes, get in touch with us. And he teaches a beautiful family constellations program, very powerful, very deep. Yeah, so that's it. Okay, Claes,
Yes.
thank you so much. Thank you.
And thank you for hosting this meeting again and organizing all my meetings in Mumbai again and again. Love you. Love everybody
Love you
in
too,
Mumbai.
Claes. Thank you so much, everyone. Good night.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Good
We'll see you